Good morning. It's Med School Motivation Mornings. We're a little late this morning because it's Saturday, and I have had a run of nights at the hospital you would not believe, guys. We're like literally every night. I'm getting out after 8 p.m. I've had to go back at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. for take back cases. I'm doing a lot of hearts and a lot of brains, and they're complicated cases. So people have complications afterwards. Good morning, Jonas. Good morning, Evan. So I actually slept in today, which is a rarity for me. You can see these bags under my eyes. Be prepared for this, y'all. As you sign up for this medical life, bags under the eyes is the way it happens. Brittany, good morning. I saw someone else there I missed. Good morning, Fat Cave. Good morning, Latanya. Good morning, Sally. Good morning, Rob and Alec and Leslie and Izzy. And if you didn't know, today we're talking Takashi 6ix9ine. Takashi 6ix9ine. Treyway. That's what we're talking about today. My rainbow hair. That's what we're talking about because someone shouted out Free Takashi yesterday on our live stream. Antonio, congratulations on passing your biochem final. That's big time. That's important. Stay in school. Get your education. Ashley, good morning. Melly, good morning. So today we're talking Takashi 6ix9ine. Who is not familiar with Takashi 6ix9ine? You have to be familiar with Takashi 6ix9ine. He's everywhere, right? Well, he was everywhere until this past week. Ha ha ha! That hurts, right? Takashi 6ix9ine, his rainbow hair, his living that blood lifestyle. He's out there murdering people every day. Muhammad, good morning. Um, awesome. Good luck in your interviews. The job done. Hopefully you're in my interview course. You can rock it. So anyway, so Takashi 6ix9ine. If we'll recap the story in case you guys don't know, but Takashi 6ix9ine is a young man who is from New York, and he became an internet sensation for his rainbow hair and his gangster lifestyle that he's been living, and his hardcore raps put to very repetitive beats that the youngsters these days think are jamming. Um, so he got famous this past year. He's been making crazy amounts of money. He's been making like 30, 40, 50, 60, $100,000 per show because you youngsters buy his tickets. Simultaneously, he's been trying to beef with every single person out there in the world that's a gang member and all this stuff around him, claiming to be a member of his Bloods and whatever. Whether it's true or not was whatever. The point is this, is that this week he got indicted on so many charges, y'all. So many crazy charges, and is facing upwards of life in prison. And I think the minimum sentence he may get is 7 to 10 years unless he turns on somebody. So as a young person, you're 22, some of you guys are young in that age range, how would you like to go spend 7 to 10 years in prison? Not a good look, right? Especially in the prime of your career, he had an album coming out, he gets arrested the week before his album comes out, they seized all of his assets. It's a mess. And what I thought was the important lesson for you guys, right? Everyone's typing all these different things about all this Tekashi 6ix9ine. His lawyer looks a mess outside the court. I saw him; didn't look like he's the top brass. But what I'll say about this, and what's important for you guys as premeds, and we don't recognize, is that whether Tekashi 6ix9ine was a gang member or not, I don't think he was. His crew doesn't think he is. No one really thinks he is. But the reality is that the people he was rolling with are real gang members. And when you are someone who's portraying to be something you're not, rolling with a pack of somebody who are the real deal, at the end of the day, when ish hits the fan, the fake will come out and the fake will take the brunt of this. And a lot of the cats in his crew, they already got a confidential informant, they were recording him, are throwing him as a scapegoat because he wasn't aware of the rules of the game because he was faking. And how this applies to you guys as pre-meds is that so often you guys will follow around a bunch of people who tell you they're in the know. Oh yeah, this is what you gotta do, this is what you gotta do. Oh yeah, do all this. And they pull you into a lifestyle that you aren't equipped for, that you aren't ready for, where you're doing things that aren't your character and that aren't productive for you. And how this plays out is maybe you're in a crew that thinks, oh, instant A's is the way to go. And oh, if we just, study all together, memorize these facts, we're gonna get the A's, it's gonna pay off in our careers and da 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 da. And they're leading you astray as opposed to teaching you, hey, listen, you should learn how to study. You should learn how to learn. You should work hard. Because if you can work hard and you can figure things out and you can put that time in and that struggle in, you will have real success, real lasting success. Not trying to take the poser route and pretend like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Do what you're supposed to be doing. And as a second to that, right, Tekashi 6ix9ine wanted this quick fame. Get on YouTube, throw up some gang terms, dye your hair rainbow, get your face all tatted up, and now you're in jail. For you guys as pre-meds who want these instant success and all this kind of stuff, and right, fee, right? You get all this stuff. Where's your work ethic? Where's your willingness to put in the real time to have real success, to do real things? Because every time I go out, I'm shocked at the laziness that pervades your guys' young generation. And it's not your fault because you're inundated with Instagram. You're inundated with social media where everything is here in a flash, gone in a flash. And you guys think that is success. I know a lot of famous YouTubers, Instagrammers who live in basements. I know a lot of people who claim to have great grades and great Mcat and great extracurriculars don't get into medical school. Where they at? It's easy to pose. It's easy to be Tekashi. It's easy to get out there and pose and pretend to be, oh yeah, I'm a hardcore pre-med. I've been working hard. I'm putting that work in. I know exactly what I'm doing. It's easy to pose. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Everyone of you guys who's a pre-med got at least one friend who's that pre-med poser who has all the answers but never seems to execute. You know what I'm talking about? Right? Everybody got that one friend who's like, oh yeah, I heard, blah, 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 you don't have to do that. I'm doing this, and it's gonna work out perfect. I'm getting all the schools because I got all the answers. I know everything. I got inside track. Don't even worry about it. Right? Who knows that friend? Who got that friend right now? Who be posing, got all the answers. Oh yeah, I didn't even study for this test. I got everything. It's on lock. But right? Exactly. Jordan just said it. They're all on studentdoctor.net. Here's actually an interesting tidbit. Let's sidetrack for a second here. So I get so upset at poser culture. You guys know I hate studentdoctor.net. It's like my least favorite place ever. So I actually, 2 days ago, created a studentdoctor.net, a profile. And what I'm going to do, this is a new campaign. I'm going to literally, I'm pre-med productivity expert. No hiding. It's exactly me. If you see pre-med productivity expert, that's me posting on studentdoctor.net. And I'm going to go through and say, incorrect, poser, fraud, not accurate, all through studentdoctor.net. Because I think it's important, right? And let's take another sidetrack. With Tekashi 6ix9ine, it's hard to see what's real and what's fake and what's really going on. And this is my big argument against studentdoctor.net. It's my big argument against a lot of people who don't do their research and don't know about the process, because I try to tell people all the time. I said, it doesn't impress me that you got into medical school. It doesn't impress me that you're a doctor. You shouldn't be advising people unless you actually dedicate yourself to learning the process. It drives me bananas. Just because you got into medical school does not qualify you to talk to other people about getting into medical school. It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. Let me show you an example. I just bought this book because Barron's put out a new Mcat book. I just bought this book this week. I'm going to go through it so that way I can accurately tell you guys, is this the right book you guys should be buying for Mcat prep? Everyone is just putting out their new Mcat materials. So I just ordered thousands of dollars worth of Mcat prep that are coming to my house. I got a big box. Actually, I might show you guys. I got a big box of new Mcat prep that just showed up at my front door that's bigger than my whole body. Because that's what it takes. You have to be informed and educated about the process. People are like, oh yeah, Mcat, just, I studied this. I don't care what you studied back 15,000 years ago. What's current? What's now? All the companies just released new materials because it's now new Mcat season. So if you are not up on that material, how does that make you qualified to advise people? That's my only question when I ask people. I'm like, so wait a minute, you've read the books? Oh no, well back when okay, all right. Well, I was on the admissions committee 15,000 years ago. I was on the admissions committee. I don't care if you're on the admissions committee. And again, this is the fake from the real. If you're on an admissions committee, two things. One, you sign a contract that you can't disclose real insider secrets. That's one. So anyone who's been on the admissions committee and tells you anything that's inside information is breaking their contract. That's one. The second thing is on the admissions committee, all they teach you is how to evaluate apps as a finished product, which is not helpful for you as a pre-med because you don't want to be evaluated as a finished product. You want someone to guide you to execute, to have an outstanding pre-med profile as a pre-med. So there's a big difference from evaluating a finished application and teaching someone from zero. You're a freshman. Hey, now you're a freshman. Here are the exact steps you need to take to be a stellar pre-med, to achieve what they want to see. That's entirely different. Okay, so all that's out there. Now, my beef with StudentDoctor.net is StudentDoctor.net, much like the internet and all the social media, is that the BS clouds the truth. And I hear people all the time, and literally this is why I joined StudentDoctor.net, because my assistant sent me a thread that was like, tell me about the Premed Productivity Experts courses. And someone got on there and said, oh, like, $400 seems like a lot for a study course. And then someone else said, no, his classes are legit. Someone's like, oh, it can't be legit. You can get all the stuff on YouTube. You can get all the stuff on StudentDoctor.net. And here's the exact easy argument, guys. Let's just say you could find my study system on StudentDoctor.net, which you can't, but let's just say you could, right? Let's just say you could find my medical school admissions system on StudentDoctor.net, which you can't, but let's just say you could. My question to you guys is, the reason you guys come to me, or you go to StudentDoctor.net, or you're on YouTube, or wherever you're at, is because you're looking for information, because you don't know what you need to do to get there. Is that correct? Would you guys comment right now? Is that correct? And Timothy, that is funny. I'm a big guy, but this box is bigger than me. I had to drag it inside. And so, Michael, you're actually incorrect. Barron's is not terrible. They've actually updated. Barron's has actually come a long way since back in the day. Barron's is actually kind of functional now. So I'm actually kind of liking their book, especially as a brief review. If you have a lot of background in the material, Barron's is a nice, cheap, quick review to get you the highlights to refresh your stuff. Especially if you're using my 4 years study for the Mcat course method, and you've actually come through your courses studying for the Mcat, then Barron's is awesome. Does that make sense to everybody? So it's different strokes for different folks, and how you use things is all in the subtleties. So everybody, right? Does that make sense? You guys go to these places because you're not in the know. You want information. You want to be informed because you're not informed. Is that correct? I want everybody to acknowledge this. There's 60 people on here right now. I want 60 people in the box to acknowledge the reason you go to places like the internet is because you don't know what you need to do. Acknowledge it right now. Otherwise, we will not go forward in this discussion. You must acknowledge the premise for me to be able to hammer you home this exact point. Okay? You go to find answers. You go to find answers because you don't know. So now, here becomes why you shouldn't do that. You don't know. Therefore, even if the true information is on StudentDoctor.net, there is so much misinformation, and you are not knowledgeable enough to sift through and say what is truth and what is not truth. Think about that. If I were right now to lecture about anesthesia medications and tell you that propofol is a medication that makes your blood pressure go super high, that is false. But you have no way of knowing that is false. If I were to tell you, hey, listen, if you have really high intracranial brain pressure, you should definitely increase the patient's blood pressure. That'll fix it. If I were to tell you if someone doesn't have enough fluid in their body, right, you would not know any of these advanced physiological medical interventions. Michael's on here who's a surgeon. If he were to tell you, hey, listen, the best way to heal a finger is just to chop that finger off, put it in water, and let it grow roots, that doesn't sound right, but you might be like, oh, okay, well, he knows better. He's the plastic surgeon. Think about that. You have no way of evaluating what is true knowledge and what is not. And this is the problem that propagates through the internet, is that you guys feel that because someone says, oh, I'm knowledgeable, or I've been through the process, or I know this, that they actually are advising you correctly, and you have no way of sifting through what's BS and what's the truth. This is the reality. And so for me, when I slam on StudentDoctor.net, sure, there's some valid information somewhere on there. But the reality is you don't know the difference between terribleness and goodness. And that's the problem. That's the honest to goodness truth. And I couldn't be any clearer about that. Like, it's like I did that video talking about the difference between YouTube entertainment and education. This is an educational channel. There's a lot of people on YouTube who are entertainers. Great. But understand the difference between when you're coming to get a message and a real word that's going to help you get to medical school, or you're coming to be entertained and waste 20 minutes laughing and giggling. It's up to you. But be very clear on that. So now my new campaign, I don't know how long it'll last on StudentDoctor.net calling people frauds, but we'll see. So if you guys see my moniker, Premed Productivity Expert. I'm not hiding. I'm exactly on it. You'll know exactly what I'm posting. I'm gonna let people know it's calling out season, because I've had enough of people being fraudulent and being misinformed and pretending like they're getting information. I'm sick of the people who are Takashi 6ix9ine of Premed getting on studentdoctor.net and making people feel bad, right? We have our Cult of Greatness Facebook group. Do you know how many people I've kicked out of my Cult of Greatness Facebook group? Let's take a step back. So I have a Facebook group. It's amazing. It's a great environment, great positivity, great support from like-minded pre-meds trying to get some places. In order to join that group, I ask 3 simple questions. 3 simple questions. Every single day, more than half the people who apply to get into this group don't answer the 3 questions. Think about that. How lazy do you have to be? Okay, I kind of want this group, but not really. I'm just going to not answer the questions. I reject them all. They think they're going to get in. I reject them all. And I get messages, hey, you rejected me. You didn't answer any questions. You're an idiot. You're lazy. I don't want lazy people in my group. Then people get in the group and they try to student.net us. And immediately, that's why I love my students. They immediately alert me. They mark the post. I go in there and look at it. This guy's student.net trolling. And I don't even give him a warning. I just kick him out the group. No, zero tolerance. Because greatness is truly a mindset. It's truly a lifestyle. I've lived it. And my students are living it. And they're experiencing greatness. And if you aren't about that life, you can't be around us. Right? Like Takashi's crew, some real gang members. We some real greatness members. That's why we're the Cult of Greatness gang. It's real greatness happening around here. And sometimes this greatness is too hard for people. These streets is real. And if you aren't ready for that lifestyle, you can't come over here and get this greatness. And that's the truth. And I have zero problems saying you ain't ready for all this greatness. You are not ready for this. When I go out and do talks now, it's comical because I speak and people are mind blown, but I'm literally giving them the top layer. Like when I go out and do sessions, and Brent was there last week, I can't even scratch the surface. We can't even touch my $16 course. I can't even start getting into that stuff because people aren't mentally ready even to acknowledge that they don't know what they don't know, which is astonishing to me because of the volume with which you guys consume internet content. You guys can't even acknowledge what you don't know because you're in the society where everybody's got to be fancy, right? Everybody's on Instagram filtering your face, right? Everybody's on Instagram sucking in all their curves with the image software. Just lose some weight. I'm just trying to figure it out. Don't pretend like you're somebody else. Just lose the weight. I am who I am, and I ain't who I ain't, right? I thought that's what it was, but now people want to fake and pose, and I think that's real life. Exactly, Brent. That lighting is real. Drawing them 6-packs on. If you guys see me in a 6-pack, you guys knew I drew that on because I ain't got the 6-pack. So if you see that, you know I've gone. They've got me in the sunken place. They've taken me over there because now I'm on Instagram drawing in my 6-pack and my pores are all smoothed out, right? And my eyes are green all of a sudden. You guys know what happened. They got me. They got me. The Instagrammers got me. Right? If I start talking makeup on my channel, you guys know the YouTubers, they got me. Right? If I start telling you guys how, I study not at all for the Mcat and I got 528, didn't study at all, you guys know the YouTubers got me. Right? If I start coming on here and telling you guys, you know what? The way to get straight A's is that you should use the Pomodoro Technique. I don't know if you've heard of the Pomodoro Technique. It's very secret. It's a very secret technique. It's called the Pomodoro. Let me repeat Pomodoro to you again. Yes, it's the Pomodoro Technique. So you can actually go to my Amazon affiliate link, and it's a tomato. And you can buy this little timer. It's on my, you see below my Amazon affiliate link? Yes, so I can make commission off you. And it's a tomato. And you buy this timer, and you can study for 20 minutes and take 5 minutes off. It's this very secret, top secret. You only hear this here. And just by doing that, I got straight A's. So go ahead, go down the link below, click on the tomato, and give me my commission. And from that, you're going to get straight A's. 20 minutes on, 5 minutes off, straight A's, Pomodoro Technique. It's amazing. That's all you have to do. Furthermore, what I like to do actually when I study to get straight A's, and this will work for everybody, because this is like the best strategy I can ever give you, is when you're studying, I want you to have lots of different highlighters. And I want you to highlight. Like I use green. Green for me means, that's important. And then I highlight red, and that's not important. And then the pink is like, that's kind of important. And you can see here in my book, almost everything is highlighted because I've taken the time and I've categorized all this information effectively with highlighting, right? And then sometimes if it's really important, I'll also put my pen out and I'll underline it because underlining and highlighting together are very effective. So you should do that. The more color, the better. Oh, yeah, right? That's straight A's. Guys, this is how people get straight A's. They're showing you in the video. Highlight and Pomodoro. You'll get there. I can't get with that. And that may seem like whatever. I'm not talking to any one person. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to everybody. It's the same thing I do when I go out. And you guys understand, I do sessions for students, but I do sessions for faculty, for learning experts, for counseling departments. And the first thing I do is I shame them to death because these are the people who are charged with your future and they don't know what they're talking about. It's not just YouTubers. It's learning experts because they don't do the research. They haven't taken the time to be an expert. And so I can't respect people who don't respect your effort, your time, your life, and your hustle. I can't. I cannot do it. If you're going to tell me highlighting is a tip, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Highlighting is absolutely not effective. If you highlight, you're a loser. And most of you guys highlight. Why? Because that's what our schools, it's part of the syllabus. You got to buy a pack of highlighters. That is the honest, I'll send you guys, you know what I'll do? I'll post it in the link here. We'll stop at 10. I'll post 10 articles. 10 articles. Scientific, journal-based articles that tell you highlighting doesn't work. I'll put them in the link below after the video. 10 articles that tell you highlighters don't work. They're ineffective. They're ineffective. And even if you didn't look at the research, right? Let's do common sense. If I read something and then I highlight it, if I read something and I highlight it, in order to access that information, what do I then have to do? If I highlight something and I want to access that information, what do I have to do? Yeah, Melanie tried to tell her friend this and she bashed you. If you highlight something, in order to access that information, you have to go back and reread the same information. You have to, by definition. If you highlight something, the only way you can re-access that information is to go back and reread it. My question to you is, when you have to reread your highlighting, does that not instantly double your amount of reading? Evans, the med school course is coming March 1st. The med school success course is coming March 1st. The new Mcat course is coming out January 1st. It's entirely revamped. I'm filming it right now. We're actually going to do some live filming for some people voted yes on that, so we'll do some live filming for it. But it's going to be about double the length that it currently is. It was one of the first courses I did was my Mcat course. And so, you know, you live, you learn, you improve, right? I tell you guys, we constantly improve, we constantly grow. So that's why I'm tuning up everything right now to get the review section tight, but the rest of it is so tight. Like I've clarified things, gotten even more specific, and oh my gosh, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. And now that it's at a reduced price, right? Because I said, I've gotten so many emails people can't afford $2.99, so I said, okay, fine. So now the course is only $1.99. Simple enough, right? $1.99 MCAT course. It's a good deal. So anyway, the point is highlighting, you have to reread. And people are just talking about how people in the course, this is all remedial. This is like day one. I think it's like the introduction. I talk about highlighting. I don't think I even talk about highlighting in the course because I'm like, guys, we should know that. It's on my YouTube channel. Like the stuff that people tell, you know, I'm not gonna do that, but you know how people do reaction videos to other people's videos? Maybe I should do reaction videos to other people who do pre-med and studying videos. Would that be good? Would you guys tune in for that? I think that would be funny. That would be comical. Like if I put their video in the background and then I put my little self like in the corner And I'm like, you know how like real doctor watches Grey's Anatomy? I'm like, real study expert watches study skills video. That'd be good. Real medical school admissions expert watches medical school admissions tips. Oh gosh. It was so good. Wait, someone emailed me, I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, and said, "Hey, Dr. Pinesett, I was looking at your Five Pillars course. It sounds amazing, uh, but I was wondering if you could give me any just like a big nugget on studying that I could use to study better." So you think my now over 35-hour long study course, which is an entire system, you want me to boil it down into a single nugget? Okay, all right, all right. Exactly, Antonio. Exactly, Brant. Lazy. It's ridiculous. Oh, I wish I could help people. But like I said, when I go out to events now, I realize now I can't actually teach them studying because they're not ready for it. It's just, it takes me an hour or 2 hours just to break them down and get everybody on the verge of tears so that way they'll be thirsty for some real truth, right? Because it's like if you're surviving, it's like I always watch, like, you guys ever watch old movies? Like right now I'm watching Outlander, it's a TV show. And it's like set back in like, I don't know, the 17th century, 18th century. And back in these times, because it was hard to purify water, everyone drank alcohol at every meal. And I think about myself, like I go out and I have an alcoholic beverage. I feel like alcohol is not very like satisfying in terms of quenching my thirst. And like drinking alcohol with every single meal, oh gosh, that'd be a lot. But I recognize that, man, back in 17th century, they don't know the goodness of water. Like they hadn't had water on a regular basis, so they don't know what they're missing. They're not thirsty for it because they never had it. And I feel like that's the way some of you guys are as students is you have been getting by drinking malt liquor, malt liquor for your study skills. Like you're like, oh yeah, I got this what is it? Colt 45. I got this what's the other cheap one? Paps. I got Paps Blue Ribbon. That's what you guys are surviving on, satiating your thirst with every day. Oh yeah, I'm highlighting. Ah, Paps Blue Ribbon. Still Reserve. Oli, you know it, right? Ah, this is delicious. These study skills. Let me highlight some more. Ah, let me underline. Ah, let me record my lectures. Ah. And then I'm like, guys, that's crap beer. As beer goes, even, that's crap. I got water. Water, life-giving water. 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 Okay. My kid the other day did this. He did water. So my kid doesn't like to go to sleep. He's 3. And so right around bedtime, he has every excuse in the world to do anything but go to sleep. And so the other day, he's like, "Daddy, I'm thirsty. I can't go to sleep. I'm thirsty." I'm like, "Trey, you're not thirsty. Go to sleep." And he's like, "Water, water." Like he's so parched, like he's going through the desert. And that's where I need you guys to be. Recognize the thirst. Water. Come get some of this water. Stop drinking Paps. Stop drinking Oli. Ooh, Oli is terrible, right? Get over here and get some of this good water up in you. It's water day, right? I don't know if you guys ever seen Idiocracy. It's another weird reference. Exactly. When SpongeBob gets all dried out aside, exactly, right? But who's ever seen the movie Idiocracy? If you guys have not seen the movie, it's Luke Wilson, it's Maya Rudolph, it's Terry Crews, it's a bunch of people, and the premise of the movie is that as society we're getting dumber, which is true. This is like scientific. As society we're getting dumber, and we're being outpopulated by people who are uneducated. This is the reality. And what this movie does is it fast forwards into time, puts 2 people in a time capsule, and then the world like goes on living for hundreds of years, getting dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber. Then these people who are average in modern day wake up and they're actually the smartest people on earth simply because everyone's gotten dumber. And these future generation, they have no crops and they can't figure out why. And the reason is because they're watering everything with Gatorade. Why? Because Gatorade has electrolytes. And the scam of electrolytes, and this is actually as a doctor, so Michael, you can attest to this. Dr. Galvez is on here, guys. as a physician, trying to break people's bad societal habits is so difficult. And I had a patient who had diabetes, came in raging sugars like in the 400s, crazy, in DKA, all it was awful. I sit down to counsel and I'm like, listen, what have you been drinking? She's like, oh, I've been having juice and soda, whatever. I'm like, no juice, no soda, don't drink any of that stuff. It's all sugar, okay? All sugar, all sugar. And so she's like, okay, I won't do juice, I won't do sodas anymore. Great. She comes back literally less than 2 weeks later. I was still on service. It was less than 2 weeks later. She comes back in, still in DKA. I'm like, hey, we just had this whole long talk about how you can have no juices, no sodas. She's like, I wasn't doing juice and sodas. I was doing Gatorade. I'm like, oh, that is my fault. That is my. I should have said water, right? Because we think that things are good for us, right? We're unaware, and so the whole point of this is I tell you guys, don't highlight and don't underline, which already you guys are like, whoa, that's blasphemy, right? Like someone's friend said, that's blasphemy to say don't highlight and don't underline, okay? But then when I take it a step further, right, and I say that, if I just say that, you guys will replace that with some other terrible habit. So you'll circle instead of underline, right? All these things. So what I have to do is then replace that with good habits. So it's so interesting. We just pushed back the date, but I'm going to be doing a dinner with Dr. Pinesett at UC Irvine School of Medicine for their medical students. I'm also going to be doing Charles Drew in, I think, February. We're doing Charles Drew. But I'm going to sit down with these medical students because just like you guys, right? You guys, it perpetuates. You think you know how to study now, and then you get to medical school, you think you know how to study, and you still don't know how to study. So I'm going to be sitting down with the medical students there. We're doing one session with first years, one second with second years to help them talk about how to do step one. And so what was so interesting was I was talking to some of the medical students the other day because I was up at UCLA, and they were like, "Oh yeah, look at all the highlighting in my step one book and da da da." And all that stuff. I'm like, first of all, you shouldn't be highlighting. Second of all, reading the step one book, the USMLE First Aid. First aid is a trap, and this is going to be blasphemous as well because first aid is like the medical school Bible. But reading first aid as your primary study resource is actually a trap that actually makes you have to work harder to get your step one score. And people don't recognize this, and they get through it because people, right, are smart enough in medical school to get through it. But my whole point to everybody is an A is not an A, is not an A. Every A is not equal. Every step one score is not equal. I would rather do like I did and study only a couple weeks for step one and get a top score than have to grudge through and grind it out doing step one and doing first aid for USMLE and highlighting, which is the wrong backwards way to do it. And so for me, right, the number one lesson you guys get a preview right now of my med school survival course is you should not buy first aid for the USMLE, which is blasphemous. But you should not be buying that as a primary study resource. The way you would use it in my system is you would use it actually 2 days before the test when you would read the entire book in one day. Does that make sense? So anyway, so my med school course is going to be mind-blowing for people. But what's awesome is I have students in medical school who are doing well. Because the students have been with me, I've laid down the roadblocks for how to do well in medical school. And medical school is actually a lot simpler than pre-med because all you have to do is med school is very much more straightforward than in the undergrad. But all you have to do in medical school is get a good step one score, network well, get a good step one score, network well, and get published. If you can do those three things, you're going to be okay-ish for residency. Get a good step one, network, and do some research. It boils down to that. Now, how you execute that is a whole other thing, right? So just like Mcat scores are creeping up, so it was so interesting going through this new prep material. So I just finished Next Steps new updates last week, I think. The week before, I just went through Next Step Prep scores, which is another great update. Next Step Prep keeps coming with it, man. They're very strong. But it was interesting to see going through that, and then I went to the AAMC's website to look at their new updated stats. The average scores for the Mcat jumped up again a huge amount of points, which is really interesting because 500 is supposed to be the median and the mean, but the mean keeps getting pushed up. It's very interesting what's happening in that people are The standard for the MCAT is getting pushed up. It's really, really interesting. So we're going to talk about that in the new course, but we'll also talk about in the medical school course how step one scores keep going up and up and up. And really, what I think the biggest jump is, and this is so someone just asked, I forget who it was, like replacing bad habits with good habits, is that the key to doing well in step one is the same as doing the key to doing well in your class is the same as doing the key to doing well on the MCAT. And that is to utilize active learning in the form of question-based learning. And so what is driving up step one scores is the higher usage of question banks. What's driving up MCAT scores is the now that right companies are starting to understand, they're starting to build in question banks into their programs. Because now everyone, like I've been saying for 2 years now, full-length tests are bullcocky. They're terrible. They're ridiculous. Full-length tests do not improve your score. I've been saying this for forever. But the point of this is that now with the integration of question banks and people even using them wrong, doing questions will help your score. But when you magnify that is if you can actually know how to do question-based learning effectively, your score will go through the roof. That's the truth and the reality. Does that make sense? But everyone tells you that full-length tests will boost your score. And in the new course, again, like I try to be soft on people, but I can't do this anymore. So in the new course, I have a whole section. Like I said, I have no problem. Like I don't need friends, right? Because nobody makes me, I make myself, right? And I don't care about the masses. I care about my students and helping them get better. So I have a whole section of my new course, and I thought it was poignant. And I'm doing this in my How to Dominate Premed course, and the update for that too, is that I'm going to go through all these people who are big time, and I have my assistant put together a whole list. All these people who are big time social media people. And I've run a list of the have-nots. And this have-not list are people who advise you and who claim to be experts who have not the knowledge to teach you guys. And so in this have-not list for the MCAT, I literally run through, I think it's like, so far, I think it's like 20-something slides of different quote-unquote medical experts, and I run down these different companies, all the things, and I highlight, and I pull out of their website, I pull out their materials where they tell you to take as many full-length exams as possible. Because right there, you lose all credibility with me. If you're going to tell students to take as many full-length, because this is important, right? This is your guys' futures. You guys pay thousands of dollars to these MCAT prep companies for these classes, right? You pay thousands of dollars. Do you not? So if you're going to pay thousands of dollars, right? If you're going to go to a university and you're going to pay them thousands of dollars to go to their learning center and do all these things, they should be advising you adequately. So that's why I have zero sympathy when I go in and yell at a learning expert, because they're getting paid thousands of dollars to teach you guys how to learn. So if they're teaching you the wrong things, that's problematic. So my question to you is if a company tells you to take as many full-length exams as possible, if that's their key takeaway, should you listen to them? Because in my mind, if someone lies to me once, if they're misinformed once, I am led to wonder how many other things have they not done the research on? It's the only thing I say. So my whole thing is you'll never hear me comment on something I'm not expert in. You'll never hear me say something to you guys that is not 100% accurate. Because I feel like if someone lies to you once and shows you that disrespect, all trust is lost in them. I can't. I feel like you're only as good as your word. Say what you're going to do, deliver what you're going to do. Otherwise, I can't get with it. That's the only thing I'm saying. So anyway, my point is that's going to be a new section of the MCAT course, so it's going to ruffle some feathers, but it's the reality. All right, anyway. Yeah, Britt, everyone gets led astray by doing that, and I apologize for you guys. You guys have to deal with that. But again, I'm trying to be this beacon of truth and all this malarkey to help you guys get there. And I'm so excited, too. What's kind of cool is courses went live. So it's now the end of 2018. We're in December 2018. And my courses went live. My very first course went live at the very beginning of 2017. So we're almost at 2-year mark. And what's amazing is A, the community we're building, but also the positive vibes that are coming back and you guys telling me you're having success and you're so happy with how you're doing it. Like you're having success in a better way. And that's really like that's what I do it for, and it makes me feel incredible to get you guys' message. So if you guys do have successes, always, like I said, we said yesterday in the video, celebrate that, send it to me. I love hearing it, reading it, and I share a couple of them online, but I feel like, and I feel like that's corny too, right? When everyone just like if someone just sends you a message because they're excited about something like a success, and then you immediately, which a lot of people do, they put it right on social media. I feel like that's kind of like, I don't know. Like I get like 3, 4, 5 messages like that a day where someone's like, "Listen, this just happened to me. It was incredible." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Yes," but I don't post them because I'm like, I feel like that's, I don't know. You're thinking enough of me to share your success with me, so I appreciate that. So anyway, um, but yeah, so I'm glad that we're all having success and we're getting better and we're embodying that greatness. So yeah, yeah. This is supposed to be, so these Mexico Motivation Mornings are supposed to be 10 minutes. We are at 40 minutes. You guys got me hyped up. I was talking about frauds, and you guys know frauds is a hot button for me. I can't deal. I cannot deal with frauds. Was it Nicki Minaj's song "No Frauds"? Someone had Lil Wayne, something like that. So DB says he likes when I share these people having success. Maybe I'll share. If you guys are inspired by it, and you guys want to see some success stories, I'll share some success stories because we're out here succeeding and it's beautiful and it's fantastic. Oh, it was Drake. Okay, yes, it was Drake. Drake and Nicki Minaj. But yeah. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, give the video a like. If you're new here, subscribe, turn on notifications because we hang out. Let's Go Motivation Mornings. I'm trying to do it almost every morning. It's not always possible in my schedule, but if I'm available, why not do it? Why not give you guys some truth and some information, some motivation, some inspiration to start you guys' morning off the right way? So I hope this. Are you guys enjoying these? This is number 5. So this is 5 this week. That's pretty good. 5 in a week. How are we liking these sessions? Are you guys enjoying them? Luis, yeah, I missed you yesterday in the OR, so we're trying to get you in the OR on Monday. I apologize for that. Okay, glad. I'm glad people are liking this. So I'm trying to do this and get it going. As you guys can hear by my voice, I am like fighting off sickness. I'm not even fighting off. I'm losing the battle, y'all. I've been sick for about a week now. I've been sick for like months, it feels like, actually, to be honest, like ups and downs and ups and downs. MSD said, can I email you a personal question? So let's talk about that real quick as we get out of here. You guys are totally free to email me. Go to my website. It's premedproductivity.com. There's a chat box there. Just put your comment in the chat box. But here's what I'll say. Don't send me your life story fishing for a nugget. Because as soon as I see you fish for a nugget, I won't respond to your email. And I'm just being honest with you. Don't give me your entire Premed profile. Send me your transcripts, personal statement, everything. And then say, hey, listen, I want you to read my personal statement, give me feedback, go through my application, look at my extracurriculars, and then tell me what I should do for medical school. Don't do that. If you have a direct pointed question, fine. But don't do that because I offer courses that give you all the information you ever need to be informed and become an expert. I'm not hiding stuff. In my courses, it's everything. I lay it out. You're smarter than me if you take my courses. You're smarter than me. So just do that. Don't send me your whole life story because it bogs down my email for people who actually have like urgent, pressing, like, hey, listen, I have these 2 opportunities. Which one should I do type questions? Like things that are very pointed and actually people really need help with. Me going through your whole application, that's garbage, right? That's a cheap attempt to just milk me for information. And yeah, and for people who are going to fire back and say, oh, I should answer every question, it's like, guys, let's be honest. Let's be super honest. I get over 100 emails a day from you guys. Just email. Doesn't count the comments, the DMs, the Facebook private messages. I get over 100 emails every single day. So if I were to go through and answer everyone's ridiculous questions, I would never get to some of the real stuff that you guys really need help with. Because there's some people out here who are really struggling and who I'm trying to help. So I have courses. I have YouTube. Get out here. And don't, this is the other thing. This is your first time watching a video. Don't email me. Go watch all the videos. Because 9 times out of 10, the question is answered in the video. And it sucks when I have to read a whole long email and say, oh, I cover that in this video. Your question is, should I retake the Mcat? And I have a video called, should I retake the Mcat? For free on my YouTube channel. Right? Still the best kept secret. I took it down actually recently, but I actually had a video on my Facebook, and my old people will remember this, called The Perfect Personal Statement that was available. It was on my Facebook page. It was literally like an hour and a half of me talking about breaking down every element of the personal statement. It was comical. I was just sitting there and people would watch it. They would ask me a personal statement. It was like, I literally laid it out. But anyway, everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Exactly, Phoebe. Why are you asking questions like, oh, when is the final? It's in the syllabus. When is the mid? It's in the syllabus. What are? It's in the syllabus. So when people ask, it's on the YouTube. It's in this course. If you want to know how to do well on the Mcat, I have a whole course on the Mcat. I don't know. I want to know how to study. Take a study course from me. Anyway. All right, everyone, like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, check out the website, get my free ebook, The Golden Rule of Premed Success. That is brand new out. It's been out about a month. The Golden Rule of Premed Success. The link is in the box below. Also, I have free webinars, free MCAT webinar, free study webinar. I have a free MMI course that is going to be launched this week, y'all. Who's ready for some MMI prep? Because it's right, it's interview season. And I was like, you know what? What can people really use? How about free? I think the course is almost 2 hours. A free 2-hour MMI course. It's pretty baller. Complete with worksheets and activity books for every segment. It's kind of cool. I would be excited to get a free MMI course. Actually, you know what? Now that I say that, MMI is the multiple mini interview. And actually, this is what we just talked about, right? I want to get rid of posers. So I was going to make it free, but now I'm not. The MMI course is going to be $3. $3. Because I want to see if you will invest in yourself. So $3. I just changed policy right here. So it's going to be kind of awkward in the course when I say, oh, this is a great free course, when it's actually a $3 course. So now it's $3. We'll make it $2.99. $2.99. Because I think free is too easy. So I want you to spend $2.99. $2.99. Okay, the course will be $1.99. We're playing Price is Right here. The course now is $1.99. Okay, MMI for $1.99. Oh my gosh. $1, Bob. $1. So yeah, $1.99 MMI course, no longer free. It's now $1.99 thanks to DB, who hooked you guys up. I was gonna do $2.99. DB got it down to $1.99. So everyone thank DB. You can't sign up for it yet. You have to watch my social media. The announcement will be coming out. Free now, $1.99 MMI course. I know it's a reverse auction, right? Like who can go lower, lower, lower? No, $1.99. MMI course, $1.99. You guys get on that. That'll come out next week. I'll cash app you right now. All right. Everyone have a great day. Yeah, everyone have a great day. My study people, we're going to have to postpone the study webinar this Sunday. Like I said, I've had a lot of crazy nights. I'm actually working again. They have a heart take back that I have to do on Saturday, or on Sunday. So we're gonna have to postpone our Sunday webinar, push that back a week. I'll see my interview people for our webinar on Wednesday, doing mock interviews. And then on Sunday, I'll see you guys again for the 5 pillars. And what's exciting, I'm excited about this, is that this week we're gonna be breaking down your guys' notes that you sent me. So someone's gonna be in trouble. We're gonna lay off of Stephen this week, and we're gonna get on somebody's case about their terrible notes, helping you guys improve your notes. So we're gonna be going through you guys' notes and refining them and tweaking them and making them very high yield. So Nelly said, can you do a webinar on what? Going into pre-med in your early 30s, married with kids, tips and advice and being successful. So Nelly, I have a whole course called How to Dominate Pre-Med that talks about exactly how you succeed in pre-med. Additionally, we talk about relationships and having kids. My wife and I started a series, and we're going to pick that up eventually um, called No Excuses, Just Love. I think we did 6 sessions. And those videos are each like an hour and some odd long. And they talk about having a relationship and navigating pre-med. Because if you guys don't know, my wife and I have been together since almost the beginning. So forever and a day. And so she had really good insight into being a spouse. I had good insight into being the person in medicine and then how we do it together and make it happen with kids and all that kind of stuff. So Dominate Pre-Med is the course. And then that series should talk a little bit about relationships and different things there. Yeah, season 2. By the way, who watched American Horror Story season 8? I just finished American Horror Story season 8. I don't know. It was interesting. I was entertained, but I was kind of. I feel like the ending was a little like wah 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 compared to the drama they built up all season. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so maybe we'll do a season 2 of No Excuses, Just Love. Shannon's been wanting to do it. Shannon has all these great sessions. So my wife is very detail oriented, very thorough. So she actually planned out like all these sessions for No Excuses, Just Love. So maybe we'll get back to that because she's been wanting to do it. I just haven't had the time. My schedule's been so crazy, so crazy. Yeah, I heard Ozark is good. That's the next thing I want to start is Ozark, and then what's the other one that people keep telling me about? The Good Place. Who's heard of The Good Place? Oh yeah, Darren. You know I watch Power. I'm all caught up on Power. Ghost. Yeah, but you know what's interesting? I actually don't like Ghost's character. I actually like Tommy's character better. I like 50 Cent's character. I feel like Ghost is weak. Like, oh, I just want to cry on someone's shoulder. Um, and so Elizabeth, you vote yes on The Good Place, so maybe I'll check that out. Anyway, all right, I gotta go, guys. The Innocents is pretty good. Okay, what's The Innocents on? Is that on Amazon or Netflix? I don't have cable over here, y'all, so it's got to be on one of those. Netflix. Okay, I'll have to check that out. No. You always have time for Netflix. This is the point, right? If you get efficient with your studying, then you can find time to do Netflix, right? For Terry's not on here today, but she'll watch the replay. You can do suturing clinic after you become very effective and efficient in everything you do. Then you can go do the suturing clinic and waste your time doing that because you don't have time to waste, time to burn. All right, enough of me. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this Saturday morning. I will see you guys. What's tomorrow? Sunday? You have to do it tomorrow? You have to do a Best School Motivation morning tomorrow? Should we talk about Kareem Hunt and how that applies to you guys? I watched that story last night. My heart broke for that kid. That sucks. If you guys didn't look that, Google Kareem Hunt right now. He's in trouble. He's in trouble, and I feel sad for him. His career's just getting going. He's in trouble. So I feel really bad for him. And whichever way you come out on it, we can talk about it a little bit. It's controversial, but I feel like it's tough to lose your whole career over a drunken 5 minutes. But that's what happens, and that's why you guys have to be on your toes. We'll talk about that tomorrow, and maybe some other good stuff tomorrow. Everyone, have a good day. Later.